Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show with local celebrity hosts Steve O and Rene. Sit back each week while Steve O and Rene educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve O and Rene with today's expert in their field.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to another Ask the Experts, where we bring you the top experts in South Florida in health, legal, financial, and home improvement. Today's one of those days. Every month, this day, we have Barry Fowler with us today. He is the owner of a company called Taxation Solutions. This was really tough to find because you hear so many crazy stories out there, but we found the best taxation relief company in the United States, actually, because they cover all of the United States. So let's go to the phone and, hey, Barry? Barry? We're waiting for, I don't know where Barry is.
Well, I think I'm here.
Ah, there you are.
Okay, I was going to say, I think I'm here. I'm talking.
Did you hear your introduction?
Yes, I heard the wonderful introduction. I appreciate that. The wonderful comments about it.
Well worth it. Hey, if you'd like to talk to Barry, if you've got a tax problem, you're going up against the IRS, which you're going to find out today after today's show. You do not want to do that. Call us here at 888-565-1470. That's 888-565-1470. The name of Barry's company is Taxation Solutions. They're a national company, but he's got offices here in South Florida. So, Barry, who have you helped today? Because it seems like every day you're helping somebody else.
Well, every day is a new day. We actually hadn't received our mail yet today, so I don't have any great stories for today of things that have come across my desk. Sometimes you hate talking about taxes on a Monday and getting people's week off to a bad start of, hey, you got to deal with your tax problem, but why wait till Friday? I mean, we got enough people procrastinating getting in front of their problem.
Well, now, if they'd like to watch today's show, which I'm watching right here on the monitor, they can go to www.taxationsolutions.net. Make sure you put that .net in there. We had two people call us last week that said, I go to Taxation Solutions and nothing's there, but it is. You just got to go to .net. So, tell us about your company, first of all, Barry.
Well, what my company does is it solves tax problems. It takes a very strong and aggressive approach to tax relief for our clients. And, being here in Houston, I'll just put it this way. Everybody knows who J.J. Watt is.
Yeah.
We provide the best defense for you. I mean, we're going to go after the IRS like J.J. Watt goes after quarterbacks.
That's a good analogy.
But, but you got to get in front of the problem. And that's the biggest thing. And we established this company so that we could help people get in front of their problem and deal with the IRS. Get the IRS out of your life, out of your house, out of your sleep, just completely out of the picture so that you can rest at night. And so that your wife will be happy too, because, most of the time, the wives always blame the men.
Yeah.
It's time to man up to your problem and deal with it. No matter how it got there, it doesn't matter to us. As Rene always tells us, hey, you guys have a no judgment zone. You're right. We don't pass judgment on anybody. We just deal with the problems. And that's what we're here to do.
I just want to share with the listeners, you're an enrolled agent besides owning the company. You're licensed to represent taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service. You've been a long-standing member of several tax industry professional organizations, including the National Association of Enrolled Agents and the American Society of Tax Problem Solvers. That's just to name a few, and I'm going to tell you why this is so important. We actually had an attorney contacted us, wanted to be on our show, and we said, we've got the best. And he said, No, he said, I guarantee you he doesn't have near the credentials I have. And I actually read your credentials off to him, and he kind of fell back and said, yeah, he does have all the credentials that they have. And so I already knew that. We have, every month we do this with Barry, and Barry does other markets. And what you're trying to do, Barry, is to get people to understand not to go up against the IRS by themselves to save a few dollars.
That's exactly right. We can have all the credentials in the world, and I can get them and I can show everybody. But what we really have to show everybody is our track record, is the history we have of going up against the IRS and solving people's tax problems. We get testimonials every day from our clients, and we get people that just sing our praises and tell us, hey, what a lifesaver we are. And, I told you I didn't have anything that came in. One of my guys just walked in my office and just handed me a guy's file that we just settled $82,000 worth of tax debt for absolutely nothing.
You guys are so amazing. I want people to know, because I found out by doing a search on a lot of these tax relief companies, and I'm telling you, Barry, that's why we feel so glad that we have Taxation Solutions, because there's a lot of companies out there that'll just tell you whatever you want to hear, and it's not always the right information. And I guess I got to just tell you, we just trust you, and that's got to be something that's really important in your business, is the trust factor.
Well, we earn our trust every day. And it's kind of like you tell your kids, you can only trust them so far, but you got to continue to earn your trust. Well, that's what we do every day, is we earn our trust from our clients. We work for them on a daily basis just to get them the best deals we can possibly get them with the IRS and settle their tax debt for the lowest amount possible. Now, that doesn't mean that every single person qualifies, because we go through a very rigid pre-qualification program where we will sit down and talk with the clients and go through everything they've got and to see what program we can put them into and qualify them for. Some people qualify for settlements just like we just got here, $82,000 we settled for nothing. Some people we've got to put in payment plans and get them the best possible payment plan based on their situation. Every situation is different. Not every single person that calls us can we settle for nothing or very little. We have a case here that it was like $408,000 and we settled for $2,900. But then we have a case for $157,000 and we got it down to $78,000 in tax due. So not everybody's going to get settling for nothing or settling for very little, 5% or 10% or whatever the percentage happens to be. We go through that pre-qualification, and then we get them the best deal that they can possibly get. But what you get with us is honesty. And sometimes people don't like it. They'll tell us, hey, look, somebody else told us they can settle this thing for that proverbial pennies on the dollar. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you, if your situation doesn't call for it, we're going to tell you honestly and tell you up front, whether you go with us or you go with them, you're going to know that before you go with them, we've already told you what could possibly be done, and we're the best in the business, so you got to take what we've got and then run with it. If you choose to go with somebody else that promises you pennies on the dollar, let's say, hey, be careful, because if we told you it couldn't be done, it's not going to get done.
And I've learned, we've been doing this for about a year and a half, and I've learned that what you mean what you say, you do what you say. We normally start off with individual people with taxes, but you also do businesses too, not just individuals.
Oh, exactly. And businesses these days, sometimes are just in heaps of trouble. And it's not just, the IRS audit, but most of the time it is the payroll taxes and not paying the payroll taxes. We have a new client that just signed up here Friday. I was reviewing the new client stuff, and they owe hundreds of thousands of dollars of payroll taxes, and the IRS is not just coming after the business. and they're getting to the point of closing the business down. But they're coming after all the individuals that signed on the checks as well. Now, can you imagine if you're a signer on a check for a business and they didn't pay their payroll taxes and now they're coming after you personally?
Well,
you don't want to wait. You got to get somebody between you and the IRS to hopefully prevent the problem from becoming worse, or get this thing settled, get a payment plan, get things moving in the right direction.
hey, but why does the IRS take, I mean, I know they can, but why would they take your business away when that's about the only way they're going to get their money?
Well, what happens is they look at a business and say, yeah, you may be able to continue going in business and you may continue to employ 10, 15, 20, or 100 people or whatever, but every time you do payroll, you get further behind in payroll taxes. Well, you're taking the money that you pulled out of your employees' checks and you did not give it to the IRS, so you violated the trust fund rules. And that's the IRS's money, and they don't want you to get any further in debt than what you are. So they would rather shut a business down than to see you continue to incur more and more payroll tax debt, because you're never going to pay it back. And so now at that situation, they're going to come after that owner and every signer of the checks personally for that money.
Wow. It's just so scary how they operate. I just heard a story today that how they went after a lady that I know, kind of like what you're talking about with, she got behind on her payroll taxes, and boy, they just don't allow that, do they?
No, they don't. That is one of the things that they're going to be hot and heavy for, and they're coming after every dime they can possibly get. There's really no settlement on those payroll taxes for a going business. You've got to make arrangements to pay those taxes back and pay them back timely, and then stay current and compliant based on the laws. So, we develop a program for, each one of our clients that are in business and work with them to get them compliant with current taxes and start getting taxes paid back on a reasonable schedule for themselves. So you've kind of got to work through that, and you've got to make sure that you can afford what you're doing. You don't ever want to not pay your payroll taxes.
Yeah.
Now, you want to know the worst thing with that is when they start hitting you with penalties, they can be up to 100% penalty for trust fund taxes.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, Barry, let's go to break. We come back. We got so much more to talk about. And you can actually watch our show right now on www.taxationsolutions.net. If you'd like to call Barry, you got a question for Barry, you can call us at 888-565-1470. We'll be right back.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more? Is the IRS levying your bank account or garnishing your wage? Taxation Solutions protects the future of today's taxpayer and can get you a fresh start. Their staff of professionals have a genuine concern for the IRS issues their clients face. Taxation Solutions have programs to stop the IRS and help you solve your IRS debt, IRS audit, innocent spouse, IRS seizures, offers, and compromise. Taxation Solutions are the leading experts in the industry. They look at each case objectively and honestly to help their clients identify the best solution. Call today for peace of mind and a free consultation at 786-600-4351. Don't stick your head in the sand anymore. Call now, 786-600-4351, or go on their website, taxationsolutions.net. Call 786-600-4351.
And we're back with the Ask the Expert show. We have on the line the owner, the founder of Taxation Solutions, Mr. Barry Fowler. If you'd like to watch the show right now, live, or you can actually even go back and watch all the past shows, you can go to www.taxationsolutions.net. If you'd like to call us here, if you have a question, maybe you got that scary letter from the IRS, Call us right now at 888-565-1470. So, Barry, Barry there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. So, I don't think people sometimes really realize what the IRS can do. Now, I know you always say it's basically what they can't do, but why don't you share with everybody what the IRS can do to you, and maybe we can convince them that they need to call a company like yours.
Well, here's what usually happens. We usually get a call right after the IRS has garnished somebody's wages. Or we get the phone call that, the procrastinator that waited on the IRS or think they had a really friendly revenue officer who was working with them and they levied their bank account. Those aren't the worst situations in the world, but those are dire situations when you're having to deal with it. The worst is where we see them taking the home, closing the business down, taking your autos. And you can see, people go, oh, yeah, right. Go to U.S. Department of Treasury and you can look at their auctions and see the different things they're selling because they took them for taxes. So don't let it get to that problem. Let us get in front of it before they levy your wages and you're left with almost nothing to live on. Or they garnish your paycheck. Now, the garnishing the paycheck, levying the wages and all that leaves you nothing. But can you imagine when they levy your bank account on payday?
Oh, gosh. And you have nothing.
Yeah, you have nothing. And it's usually payday right before your rent is due or your house note is due, car payments are due, all the stuff you've got to pay. And when they levy your bank account, they take it all. And they usually ends up being on payday. So it's a dire situation, and that's why you need somebody to be in front of it. We've seen it where these IRS agents will act like they are the most friendly person in the world. I'm your friend. Talk to me, tell me, where do you bank? Where are you working? How much money do you have in your IRA or 401k? And then, you think you're working out a payment plan with them, but, you're not quite there yet, and they levy your bank account. Great friendship, isn't it?
Wow, it's amazing. And you're kind of like, your lawyer always tells you, don't say anything. Do not say a word, because you might be saying something that I don't want to say. Well, you're basically the same thing, because people can say something to the IRS that they shouldn't be saying, because like you said, they act like you're your friend. But with your you know what to say to the IRS and what you shouldn't say to the IRS.
Yeah, and if you're on the phone with the IRS right now, or you're going to be or have been today, get off the phone, pick up the phone and call us at 786-600-4351. Or if you know anyone anywhere in the country, because we've got 43 offices now across the country, they can call us at 888-930-1016. Don't say another word to the IRS revenue officer you're dealing with or the IRS agent you're dealing with, and let us get between you and them. Let us take the burden off your shoulders and start working on your problem and get you the settlement that you deserve and you qualify for. We've got the programs to do it. You just got to give us the chance to do it.
When someone calls you for the first time, Barry, is it a fact-finding type phone call? I mean, do you delve into, their bank records, receipts? How's the first phone call go?
Here's how the first phone call goes. One, it's absolutely free. So you're going to talk with us on the phone, and we're going to walk through what your problem is. How much money do you owe the IRS? Have you filed all your taxes? If you haven't filed all your taxes, what years have not been filed? And you may not have perfect records or perfect knowledge of everything that is going on. That's okay. We're going to walk through the base situation. Then we're going to kind of walk through, what assets you have, what ability do you have to pay this back? And then come up with, basically what our scenario is going to be of what we can do for you. And then give you what our fees would be and give you the time to ask any questions that you have, because we want to address those problems We want to address what questions you may have of how we can get this done for you and how we can either settle this, get you in the best payment plan, get you into compliance so that we can get the IRS off your back and you can sleep at night. Now, the beautiful thing is once you hire us, we make it really easy. We're going to send you this wonderful welcome packet. It's going to give you a bunch of forms and stuff to work with us so that we can put complete information together. But best of all, it comes with two things: business cards. And those business cards for you, your wife, anytime an IRS agent happens to call you, if they call you, they've violating federal law of contacting our clients once we get the powers of attorneys and everything filed and let them notify them that we're representing you. But if they call you in between, then all you got to do is say, Mr. Fowler's representing me. Call him at 786-600-4351, and he will take care of this for you. And hang up the phone. Don't say anything else.
Hey, because you know what you say could get you in a mess of trouble.
Yes, and we don't want you talking to the IRS.
Right.
We don't want them giving them information that maybe you didn't understand the question, or maybe they're just fishing for information. We don't want you answering any of the questions. All we want you to do is give them our phone number, give them our name, and let us take care of your problem, from there. It makes your life easier.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Easier to do.
Maybe even be able to sleep at night. Because that's got to be the worst feeling. Now, do you get a phone call or do you get a letter from the IRS?
Well, you get letters from the IRS, but it doesn't mean that a revenue officer, as we're working with them, or maybe you've been talking with them, those revenue officers will call you. And especially if you've dealt with the revenue officer, or you've talked to the revenue officer, they've got your phone numbers, and they will call. But once we're dealing with them and we're your representatives, they're not allowed to call you unless they feel like we're not providing them enough information or any information. But that's never the case. We're always on top of your case, and we're always talking with the IRS. So if the revenue officer says, hey, they're ignoring me, no, we're not. Just give them our number, hang up the phone, and let us deal with them. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to take the burden off of you. And
Barry, how long is it? I mean, I know that every case is different, but approximately from the time you start on a case till you finish, how long is that usually?
Well, it depends on what we're doing. If sometimes the payment plans, we can get them done in, a week, month, days. It really depends on the situation. But when we're dealing with settlements, and what we call a settlement is an offer and compromise, those things can be anywhere from a year to a year and a half to 2 years before we actually get the final offer and compromise done.
It takes that long, huh?
The one we got in today, it took us about a year and 4 months to actually get that one done.
Wow.
The IRS is off your back. They're not asking for anything. We're working on that settlement with them. And then when it's all said and done, you've got your settlement, and you're paying a lot less than what you originally owed. In most cases, you're not paying very much at all. But everybody's situation is different. I wish I could just sit here and say, yeah, everybody that calls me, I can settle this thing for $100. No. Everybody's situation we go through and analyze and get them in the best situation possible.
Yeah, but let me tell you some of the stories that you've shared with us, and my favorite will probably be my favorite forever, is one of your clients who literally owned thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you got them off. I mean, it was like so minimal, and they still weren't happy with you. I mean, not with you, but they still weren't happy with the numbers.
Well, sometimes when you have somebody that owes, roughly $1.5 million, and you can only get them settled for $22,000, they've heard us talk on the radio. They've heard what we've done for people, and I guess they wanted that $1,000 settlement. in the end of the day, when we got done with it, I think we're down to right around. I think we actually now have the settlement in hand of $21,000, and he's actually very happy with us. He was wanting to push us to make us get him a better deal,
right?
So it is funny because he was going off on one of my reps here and complaining about it, but at the end of the day, the best we could get him is roughly $21,000.
And how much was the original number?
$1.5 million.
That is amazing. Barry, I got to emphasize again that the trust factor, because I remember I Googled tax relief, and God, there were some horrific stories out there. I mean, how people had basically gotten ripped off, and I think there comes to tell you what you want to hear. Your company, now no one can ever be 100%, but you guys were just so clean, and the results that I read on there from your clients were just amazing. So I think that I would much rather be with a company that's going to be totally honest with me up front, hold my hand through the whole process, be there for me when I need them. That's a company like Taxation Solutions.
Well, there's three things we have going for us. Is one, the owner, me, I have a passion for tax relief and to saving our clients as much money as possible. Two, every enrolled agent, tax attorney, CPA that we hire has to have that same passion. And that passion, three, goes throughout our whole company, to be not only a passion for saving money, but a passion for the truth, being honest, and doing business the right way. And that's why when you call us at our 786-600-4351, we will take care of you. We'll walk you through your problem. We'll hold your hand throughout the whole case, and we will get this done to the best settlement, the settlement that each and every one of our clients deserve. And I tell people all the time, whether it's you, friends, family, or even your enemy, I don't care where they are in the country, have them call us. Even if they've called other people, have them call us, make us your final phone call, and I guarantee you, you're going to hear the honest truth of what you can do. But pick up the phone no matter where you are in the country and call us at 888-930-1016, or right there in Miami, 786-600-4351, and we'll take great care of you.
Man, hey, amen to that. Hey, Barry, thanks a lot for coming on. And Barry also comes on our morning show on a different station. In fact, he's going to be back. He doesn't know this yet, but he's going to be back on with us Friday, hopefully. Anyhow, Barry, thank you so much, bro, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye. So we're going to go to break right now, and we come back. We have a great attorney, Brett Findler, who's going to tell you some stuff that the insurance company never tells you when you're in an automobile accident. We will be right back.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000?